Ladies, gentlemen, and expeditioners of some ages, welcome to Act 2. Expedition 33 is an absolutely fantastic new game with equipment, cosmetics, and secrets sitting all over the place waiting to be found, with full-on zones that are optional and easily walked past, or swam past as we are going to get into today. On which note, today is all about the early stages of Act 2, so if you are before Act 2, avoid the hell out of this video unless you want to be spoiled, and within Act 2, we will be progressing in order from the start and going over everything that is powerful equipment, haircuts, outfits, optional quests, or stuff like that I think is worth telling you about in the early stages of this act. I won't be telling you literally everything that is around the place, but the things that I think are worth going out of your way for. It's worth noting there is a lot that opens up here as you get access to more proper traversal in the open world, and not all of it is level appropriate for you right now, so I will only be talking about one thing that grossly overlevels you at this stage, because the reward from doing it is so good that it's sort of genuinely worth like a 40-minute battle of perfect parries if you're someone who's willing to do that. Outside of that, I'll be sticking to the level appropriate areas. All that said, we will move in progression order as well from the exact start of Act 2. If you turn around immediately and cross to the shore that goes back to the Act 1 areas, there is a merchant right there that sells you a couple of haircuts. If you then go directly east from this location from where you start the act, you'll find this shore area beside the Stone Wave Cliffs Cave optional zone. There's a merchant up here that will just sell you a haircut for Lune and also one for Sciel as well. The zone itself is essentially just the home of a unique optional boss who drops an okay but not super important Pictos, so I won't spend too much time on that, but the fight is fun and I do recommend going in for yourself if you want to. Past that, north of here, if you travel along the water, you will find another little beach. This time the optional area here has beach in the name as well, and inside of it you'll find some Gestrals, some of which whose job is also beach. Talk to the main guy up in the front and he will tell you about his love of beach volleyball and using small children as volleyballs, and while the rules might be a little bit strange, he's got the spirit. He gives you 3 options for volleyball opponents, easiest to hardest. The weakest gives a resplendent Chroma catalyst, just a normal one gives the one-piece swimsuit outfit for Lune, and the strongest gives you the one-piece swimsuit outfit for Sciel as well. Next up, moving around to the southwest side of the open waters here that we can now swim through, this is where you will find the optional white tree zone. The zone itself is just an expedition journal and a music record if you want to go in and collect those, but outside of it, on the actual island itself, there is a lost Gestral over here to help you progress that quest, and there is also a Pictos over to the left of the Gestral behind some boxes, which is called Shared Care. This makes it so when you heal an ally, you also heal yourself for half of that amount, which is an effect with lots of good long-term potential for a support character. Moving on to the next island immediately southwest of here then, which has no actual zone on it, so no name, but this one does have an optional boss, the Chromatic Jar. He's got a fair bit of health, and for me at least, he was able to one-shot any party member at this stage of the game, but a good offensive build and a couple of minutes of parrying, and you can definitely take him down. Defeating him gives you an honestly incredible weapon for Maelle called Jarum. This drops at level 13 in this location. This is defense and luck scaling, but the actual effects on it are sort of nuts. Level 4, you get Virtuose Stance on counterattack, which you can obviously do very frequently. Level 10, apply 5 burn on counterattack, and level 20, increased counter damage per shield. So this has a ton of scaling potential at any stage of the game really, with a counter-focused setup, and that can be quite good. From here, we are moving on to the northwest side of this body of water. You'll see a big mechanical looking dude, which we will be talking about in a moment, but avoiding for now. First, at the north end here, you will see another shoreline with an optional area called Blade's Graveyard. This is just another music record in a nice little pretty area, but directly south of this island is a free roam area, and if you move around the enemies and up the little hill, you will see a door to the Manor. Head on through the door to teleport over to the Manor in a new room, the library, head up the spiral staircase, and then up to the lit up bookshelf to get an interact prompt. Reveal a secret room behind it, and in here you will find the Verso civilian outfit, which looks quite snazzy. Parkour across the bookshelves in this room as well for a Shape of Energy too. When you are done, head out the main door of the manor to return to where we entered. From here, if you round to the south side of the exact same little island, you can find an extra merchant as well, this one selling the skirt outfit for Lune, vintage haircut for Maelle, and the civilian outfit for Maelle as well. Now let's talk about our big friend over in the water just to the north of the island. This is Sprong. He's an optional massive boss, he fucking hurts, and he has an obscene amount of health as well. Generally speaking, unless you really want the reward right this exact second. I recommend leaving this guy here and coming back once you've reached Act 3, as you can get rid of the damage cap at that point, and this becomes much easier to do as a result. But with that said, the fight is doable at this stage. It just sort of requires perfection for like the better part of an hour. As for why you would want to put yourself through that right now, this fight is what gives you the cheater Pictos, and the effect on this is to make it so that you always play your turns twice in a row. For all intents and purposes, this straight up doubles the amount of actions that you can take while having the effect active, so as you can imagine, it's sort of insanely strong, and this is where it comes from. And that's all the stuff I wanted to cover in that massive open world area at the beginning, full of optional little things and knickknacks, so let's move on to the next actual story zone, Forgotten Battlefield. From the main gate flag, follow my path here, we are leaning rightwards and looking to drop down into some trenches. The further along section of trench up here has a Pictos in it that is an extremely good one that is also very useful. This is Energizing Start 4. This is probably not the first Energizing Start Pictos that you've seen. The Lumina effect grants 1 bonus AP on battle start, and you can have multiple of these Energizing Starts active at the same time, which is why they have separate Roman numeral naming conventions. So collect as many of these different ones, and you can start with a bunch of bonus AP on your first turn. This Pictos then drops at level 8, and it also has a big pile of health as the bonus stat. Take a left out of this trench, and you'll immediately find a group of enemies that contains a Troubadour and a couple of little friends of his. You can defeat these elsewhere in the area as well and get the same rewards, but the first time you beat the Troubadour and the other enemy type here in this area, you will get a level 8 Troubadim weapon for Lune, which is an upgraded version of a weapon that you can find earlier in the game, as well as the Ramasson for Sciel. And this is a sick looking weapon with a little bit of support functionality. On the opposite side of this open area from the main gate expedition flag, you'd want to head forwards and left. There was another set of larger trenches up here, fork leftwards within the trench, meaning from here, and then follow through a set of stairs. Follow this up and past for a further set of stairs, and behind the Troubadour enemy that is located here, you will find the Sweet Kill Pictos. This drops at level 8 with speed and crit increases as the stats, and the Lumina effect recovers 50% health when you kill an enemy. So it's really good for longer, more sustained sessions of combat between rests, where you're fighting multiple groups in a row but still taking some damage. Next up is a Pictos in a whole optional area here from the next main expedition flag, which is the Vanguard Point. From this, you want to actually turn around and head backwards, then you can actually climb up on these ledges that'll be on your left. Follow them along for a very straightforward path to an optional flag, Fort Ruins. From here, just follow the main path forwards. The first enemy that you will see is a Troubadour. Past him in the more open area, take a right turn up some stairs, and then on the back side of this raised area is a hole in the railing that you can walk through to grab the Energizing Death Pictos. This drops at level 8 with defense and speed as the inherent stats on the item, and the Lumina effect is on death, put +4 AP on all of your allies. This may be a little bit niche, but there are absolutely builds that you can make around expecting your allies to die, and even manually killing them yourself even at the start of combat, as there is a Pictos that exists that does kill your player when you enter combat. So it may be niche, but it's worth pointing out that it's over here and it can have some synergy. Then back to the main path over from the Vanguard Point flag once again. Follow this through to the Fading Woman NPC, at which point the path will be forking multiple directions. The path on the left leads to a Patank, which is useful, but we're going to focus more on the path to the right for now. Follow it through to the right, all the way to the far corner on this side, and you'll find the Chromatic Luster optional boss. Like the other optional Chromatic bosses, this one is a bit of a challenge, but definitely defeatable, and also like them, his reward is pretty solid, which is the Lusteson weapon for Sciel, which is alright, but then the Energizing Parry Pictos, which is the big deal here, and if you are someone who enjoys the parry system and tries their best to parry instead of dodging, you will get a ton of value out of this, as it gives +1 AP on each successful parry. And as for the Pictos itself, it also has a nice big chunk of bonus health. There is another Pictos right above this, Empowering Tint, which isn't quite as powerful, but while we are here, you can get to it by climbing up a rope that is also not far away from the Fading Woman, again on the path on the right side, but this time we take another right as soon as possible, and you will see the rope heading up here and the Pictos on the bridge up top. Next one is super important, a full-on bonus Chroma Elixir, so 1 extra heal per rest. From the Fading Woman NPC, head forwards and take the first left that you can. Break the boxes and you will break the painted cage lock that is behind it as well. Take the next left along the proper path to find the cage itself and another lock behind it behind some more boxes as well. Turn around then and look up here to find the final lock, and then you can open the cage itself and pick up the extra Chroma Elixir charge. Keep going down this path and you will see an expedition journal quite clearly, but what is a bit less obvious right behind this journal is a building that you can enter, and then around this little corner you can find a rope to climb up, and here is the Gestral merchant for the Forbidden Battlefield named Kasumi. His base stock includes the inverted Affinity Pictos, which gives you the inverted status at the start of combat. This makes all healing while you have the status deal damage to you instead, but the Pictos also gives you 50% increased damage while inverted, so it's a pretty strong potential build component, and it comes with health and crit on the actual Pictos itself. This vendor also sells a level 8 Benisim for Lune, which is a healing focused weapon that does earth element damage. Defeat the merchant in a fight and you will also unlock the ability to buy the Obscur outfit for Maelle, which is pretty damn slick. Once you have finished off the end section of the Forgotten Battlefield Zone, then you'll get access to another chunk of the world map. Immediately east of the Forgotten Battlefield's exit here, you will find the entrance to the Stone Quarry optional zone. This area has an expedition journal inside of it, but also one of the white Neverons, the untextured, unpainted troubadour. And this guy, unlike the other troubadours, just wants to play music peacefully, for enjoyment, not for murder, but he simply doesn't know how. Engage with him for a little bit after that, and a minigame will be given to you that is basically Simon Says, but with dodging colored balls. Succeed at all 3 stages of this, and you'll be given a recoat. Talk to this NPC again afterwards, and he will give you the healing Parry Pictos. This drops at level 10 with a big chunk of bonus health and defense, and the Lumina effect is recover 3% health on parry, like every single parry. Then finally today, before we round off, one more extra hidden and optional location, the Coastal Cave. Back on the world map, on the section outside of the Stone Quarry, you want to head to the eastern side to find a shoreline that you can then start swimming off of with Esquier. This will bring you to the island with the Coastal Cave optional mini-zone, and in here is a quick double mini-boss fight against a couple of Neveron blacksmiths who want to show off the quality of their weapon creations. If you defeat them, you can then access their shops. Plural. The first shop with Croulet has the Lanceram, the Lightarim, and the Searam weapons purchasable at level 12 straight up. Then the second shop with Brûlé has level 12 versions of the Brûlerim, the Crulerim, the Deminarim, Gobluson, and the Burgelon weapons. So again, some really nice pre-upgraded versions of a number of different weapon options for you to choose from. Yes, they all cost Chroma, so only get the ones that you actually intend on using at this stage, but this gives you a ton of pre-upgraded options once you reach this step of progression. Then finally for today, right here on the world map, a bit southeast of the entrance to Monaco Station, you can find another Lost Gestral right on my cursor here, and then just ahead of this place is another merchant with another hairstyle that you can purchase for Lune if you want, as well as the Lost Voice music record. That just about does it for now, everyone. Everything important worth getting early on at the beginning of Act 2 in Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I hope you've all enjoyed this, and hopefully these items will enhance your journey moving forwards. Like if you liked the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.